Hello everyone, my name is Elijah David, minister of the 12th Hour Apostolic Sabbatarian Congregation, Mount Zion, the 12th Hour, in the Liberty Hill, Texas. Today is July 7, 2013, or the 29th day of the 4th month, 2017. We're going to start our second service today with a song that I have written entitled, Dusty Roads and Sandal Feet. To believe in that man of Galilee, for he walked those dusty roads for you and me. Often prostrate and prone, carried his burden all alone as he journeyed along the road to Calvary. Dusty roads and no feet, all the journey was complete from the manger to those golden streets, to a place in the land where someday we all shall meet. The author of the story, dusty roads and sandal feet. I have reason to believe in that man of Galilee, for there's nothing in this world he couldn't do. Change the water into wine, cast out demons, heal the blind, and that's why I believe in that man of Galilee. Dusty roads and no feet, all the journey was complete from the manger to the cross, to those golden streets, to a place in the land where someday we all shall meet. The author of the story, dusty roads, sandal feet. Dusty roads were his companion, desert places his abode. Sandal feet were often weary underneath a heavy load. Never complaining as he went along the way, on the way to Mount Calvary and the judgment day. Dusty roads and sandal feet, how hard would you like to meet that man named Yahweh coming down your street? Would you be like Zacchaeus and climb up in a tree? Or would you be like Jonah who wanted to flee? Dusty roads and no feet, for the journey was complete from the manger to the cross, to those golden streets, to a place in the land where someday we all shall meet. The author of the story, dusty roads and no feet. The author of the story, dusty roads and sandal feet. Hello everyone, once again it's Elijah David. We're going to continue our series on the world yesterday, today, and tomorrow by the Victory Harvest, Shepherd's Rod. We're on series number 5, and we're going to do a little overview from our last study. We're going to do a little overview on page, I believe it's 46. It says, Elohim's people at that time can no more serve the Yahweh in Babylon and in Egypt than they could have in the days of Ezra or of Moses. For when the plagues are poured upon Babylon as the fire and the brimstone were poured upon Sodom and Gomorrah, then if they be living among the wilderness, they can no more escape the damage of the plagues than Lot could have survived the fire had he stayed in Sodom. So all who want to escape the foretold ruin verily must come out of the Babylon, as Lot and his family came out of the Sodom. And it shall therefore come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Yahweh's house, this is the house of David now, shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills. and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Yahweh, unto the house of the Elohim of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths, for out of the law Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Yahweh from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people. They shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. Isaiah 2, 2-4. Isaiah 11, 12, 15, and 16. Thus saith Yahweh Elohim, Behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and will give them on every side, and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king unto them all. And there shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all, neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. But I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their Yahweh Elohim. And David, my servant, shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments, and observe my statutes, and do them, and they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. Folks, this is where we're at. This David is on the scene today in the form of Elijah David, speaking to you right now, with Elijah's message. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them, and I will place them and multiply them. And will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. My tabernacle also shall be with them. Yea, I will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. And the heathen shall know that I, the Yahweh, do sanctify Israel, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them. Okay. And forevermore, Ezekiel 37, 21-28. Okay, in the confirmation, of the truth that the Elohim's people are again to become a kingdom, Ezekiel's prophecies of a new division of the land. Okay. So we'll look at it now on the big screen. It says that the new division of the land, the prophet Ezekiel presents a division of the land entirely different from that of the Joshua's time, Joshua 17. It is to be in the strips from the east to the west. Dan is to have the first portion in the north, and Gad the last portion in the south. Between the borders of these two are to be the portions of the rest of the tribes. For the sanctuary is to be in the midst of the land, and adjacent unto it is to be a city. Okay, see Ezekiel 48. The fact that such a division of the promised land has never been made shows that it is yet future. Also the fact that the sanctuary is to be there, whereas it is not to be in the earth made new, Revelation 21 and 22, positively proves that this unique sit-up is premillennial. Moreover, the twofold fact that the name of the city is that the Yahshua is there, and that its location according to the division of the land necessarily must be different from that of the old Jerusalem, shows that Jerusalem proper, the one in the Middle East, is not that city. Moreover, the scriptures plainly point out that the Gentiles will be driven out of the Holy Land, So where is this city to be located at? Well, prophecy is being fulfilled on these prophecies pertaining to this here 144,000 being gathered here in the wilderness of the people, the United States, earthen prophecy. Now Ezekiel has a prophecy on that as well in Ezekiel 20. And let's go and start with verse 31. It says that, for when you offer your gifts, when you make your sons to pass through the fire, you pollute yourselves with all your idols, even unto this day, and shall I be inquired of by you, O house of Israel. As I live, saith the Yahweh Elohim, I will not be inquired of by you. And that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all that ye say, we will be as the heathen, as the families of the countries, to serve wood and stone. As I live, saith the Yahweh Elohim, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people, and will gather you out of all the countries wherein you are scattered, with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. Okay? And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt. So will I plead with you, saith the Yahweh Elohim. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant, and I will purge out from among you the rebels and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Yahweh. Okay. As for you, O house of Israel, thus saith Yahweh Elohim, go ye, serve ye every one his idols, and hereafter also, if ye will not hearken unto me. So he's telling the Adventists today in the Davidian, well, if you're not going to hearken unto me, go serve your idols. But pollute ye my holy name no more with your gifts and with your idols. In other words, stop going through a false sense of worship, thinking you're serving me, when I won't smell in your assembly. Isaiah chapter 1 talks about that. Okay, let's continue now with page 49 of The World Yesterday and Tomorrow by the V.T. Hall. We are dealing with the subject now, the Gentiles will be driven out of the Holy Land. Now it says, then lifted I up my eyes and saw, and behold, four horns. And I said unto the angel that talked with me, what be these? And he answered me, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. And Yahweh showed me four carpenters. Then said, what come these to do? And he spake, saying, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, so that no man did lift up his head, but these are come to fray them, to cast out the horns of the Gentiles, which lifted up their horn over the land of Judah to scatter it. Zechariah 1:18-21. So here we see first that the heathen powers and their scattering of the Elohim's ancient people are represented as four horns. And later in their casting out of the Gentiles, they are represented as four carpenters. Thus it is predicted also pictorially that Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles only until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Luke 21:24. And read Ezekiel 36:37 and Jeremiah 30:31. Although our first question should be, what shall we do to avoid giving allegiance unto the enemies of the Elohim, so as to be found worthy of a place in his kingdom? When this evil time shall come, yet the majority make their first question, who is God? For one to try on his own resources to explain who God is for him to try to do the impossible. A venture which can result only in the disappointment. This is seen in the fact that although the Bible plainly states that the place of the unwalled villages is in the mountains of Israel, Israel's own land Palestine, where the fathers of the Israelitish nation dwelt, yet men have attempted to tell us that it is in America. So it is that in their own craftiness, Yahweh will spoil and judge the nations. And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth and sit on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows, and the handstaves and the spears, and they shall burn them at the fire 7 years, so that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any out of the forest, for they shall burn the weapons with fire, and they shall spoil those that spoil them, and rob those that rob them, saith Yahweh Elohim. It shall come to pass in that day that I will give unto Gog a place there of graves in Israel, the valley of the passengers on the east of the sea, and it shall stop the noses of the passengers, and there shall they bury Gog and all his multitude, and they shall call it the valley of the Hammon Gog. In 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying of them, that they may cleanse the land. Yea, all the people of the land shall bury them, and it shall be unto them a renown, the day that I shall be glorified, saith Yahweh Elohim. Therefore this saith Yahweh Elohim, now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob, and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and will be jealous for my holy name, after that they have borne their shame and all their trespasses whereby they have trespassed against me, when they dwelt safely in their land, and none made them afraid, when I have brought them again from the people, and given them out of their enemies' lands, and am sanctified in them in the sight of many nations, then shall they know that I am the Yahweh the Elohim, which caused them to be led into the captivity among the heathen. But I gathered them unto their own land, and have left none of them any more there. Neither will I hide my face any more from them, for I have poured out my spirit upon the house of Israel, saith Yahweh Elohim. Ezekiel 39:9 through 13 and 25 to 29. Okay, let's continue on here. It says, for behold, in those days, and in that time, and I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. Then they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men at war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves, and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down. O Yahweh. Let the heathen be awakened, and come up into the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. You'll find it in Joel chapter 3, verse 1 and 2, and 9 through 12. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided the sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. Matthew 25:32-34. But unto them that are at his left hand shall he say, And these shall go away into the everlasting punishment, but the righteous in the life eternal. Matthew 25:46. For complete study of the kingdom, read tract number 8, Mount Zion at the 11th hour, And track number 9, behold, I make all things new, page 40 to 64. These are some of the future events that are soon to follow in the quick succession in the ushering in of the everlasting kingdom of the David in the 12th parabolic hour that we're in now. This is the everlasting kingdom of heaven, as prophesied about there in Daniel 2, 44 and 45. When it talks about in the days of these kings shall the Yahweh of heaven set up a kingdom, okay, which shall never be left, will not be left to others, nor destroyed, but it will stand forever. Then follows the closing of the probation and the pouring out of the 7 last plagues, which shall fall upon those who figuratively stand on his left hand, those who are outside Palestine. Then while the plagues are falling, the mightiest of all battles will be fought. For the battle of that great day of Elohim Almighty, the long expected end of the world, the Armageddon, Revelation 16, 12 to 16. See, B.T. Hollis didn't have the prophecy of Zechariah 14. That's your battle of Armageddon. But he uses Revelation 16. Coming back now unto our present world crisis, since, as previously mentioned, the crowned kings of the day, Revelation 13, have already dwindled unto a handful, and since the churches in their city for peace and safety are endeavoring to clasp hands with one another, we should do wisely now to inquire into the current events that may fulfill prophecy. Because of bone of the contention among the angry nations of the day is the world's markets, and because the churches are threatened by the totalitarian government, and thus urge the press together in order to preserve Christianity, the fact is thereby evidence that the time is high, or is now, for the arrival of the predicted worldwide religious, political, commercial empire, the supposed remedy for the world's ills. Now is seen that the prophecy of the Revelation 17 and 18, the last scene in the drama played by the nations, is about to be enacted. The warring nations are already divided into 2 distinct ideological camps. On the one side are the democratic governments, while on the other side are the totalitarian. If the latter continue successfully to prosecute their relentless conquest for the world dominion and sovereignty, the only victorious way out for the Christian nations, as they humanly view their plight, will be to surrender their power unto the church. What church? The Catholic Church. For sin, Catholic sit against Catholic, the Protestant against Protestant in the moral combat. They will, in the dread fear, be inspired to saddle the beast and to reestablish the church, Catholic Church, as its driver, in order to free themselves from the shackles of the totalitarian and to safeguard Christianity. They will see victory in this stratagem. If it be denied them in the war, for the very evident reason that many of the millions of the communicants of these churches in every army of the totalitarian states allied in the conflict will honor the dictates of the Catholic Church above those of their respective government. Okay, let's continue on now. Such a combination of the circumstances will result in a replication of the international church and state rule of the Middle Ages, and will relegate to the scrap heap the world's finest instrument of the human liberty, the divinely inspired Constitution of the United States of the America. Since this development will make the world's ills worse, it will signalize that the 4 angels have let loose the winds, and that the 144,000, okay, now get this, that the 144,000 Israelites are sealed. Revelation 3:8. Now, did you get that? As soon as the Constitution of the United States is repudiated, it hadn't been yet, but they're in the process of doing it. And as soon as that's done, then it says, it will signalize that the 4 angels have let loose the winds, and that the 144,000 Israelites are sealed. Revelation 7:3-8. And what is more, a system that will, on pain of the death for the nonconformity, exact a form of worship in the violation of the conscience, is anything but democracy and Christianity. Enforced religion is nothing less than an order of the truckling subject, rather than an order of the voluntary disciple. The fast-falling crowned kings of the nations, symbolized by the crowned horns of the leopard-like beast, in the contrast with the ascending crownless rulers of the nations, symbolized by the crownless horns of the scarlet-colored beast, show that the world is passing out of the period of the royalist government and into the period of the non-royalist governments. For a totalitarian overthrow of the democracies would endanger the continuation of the nationalistic Christianity. To withstand this storm, their Christian governments will be for long seat upon the beast, the predicted world queen, Babylon the Great. Then she will say in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Revelation 18:7. Well, this hasn't quite happened yet. As soon as Obama finishes his second administration, he will no doubt, when he's going out, will repudiate the Constitution. Matter of fact, when he repudiates the Constitution, he's automatically in as a dictator for life, because you don't have no elections then. When you don't have a Constitution, you don't have no elections in this country. No open election. Okay? So it said, for the church and state union will bring a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation. Daniel 12:1. Nevertheless, whosoever will save, protect his life by the sacrifice of the truth shall lose it, says Yahshua. And whosoever will lose or risk his life for my sake by standing firm for the truth shall find it. Matthew 16:25. And the prophet declared that at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even at that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. Daniel 12:1 and 10. Without the Yahshua, no system can unravel the world's tangles, but can only make the knot worse. Babylon the Great, therefore, can endure but a short time. One symbolical hour, and that's the hour we're in right now. And then she will be swept away by the crownless horns of Revelation 17:16. That's on that beast. For the resultant time of the trouble finally culminating in the close of the probation and in the triumph and coronation of the King of Kings and Sovereign of Sovereigns, Revelation 19:16, whose right it is to reign. So it shall be that in the days of these kings shall the Elohim of the heavens set up a kingdom. Okay, this kingdom was set up in 2002 at Kermit, Texas, at the third feeding pasture of Gilead Center for the Seventh-day Adventists, Mount Gilead, with the angel of the seventh candlestick, Willis Johnson, in charge and presiding over the office of inspiration as a prophet, as a mouthpiece for Yahweh's government. Remember, he was given the commission in 1970 to bring forth an instrument called the creation calendar, in which to put Yahweh people back on the true time, with the sanctuary completely restored, with all the divine institutions intact. Okay? So now it says, so it shall be that in the days of these kings shall the Elohim of the heavens set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. Okay, those kings, represented by those 10 horns on that beast, I'll just turn to it and show it to you. Well, actually, I have it right here in front of me. These 10 horns right here that came upon us, that's on this leopard light beast that came upon the sea in 1776 with crowns on. They translate into these 10 horns here on a scarlet-colored beast later on. Over 200 years later, you find that these 10 horns, representing all nations of the world, they had lend their power to this beast for 1 hour over here. Whenever they transfer from this beast, leopard light, to this beast here, then they lose their crowns. Why? Because this woman right here, Mr. Bowden, has got power and over all the nations. So these 10 horns representing all nations of the world don't have any independent parliamentary rule anymore. They don't have any independent kings that rule over each one of their nations. Shows they lost their crown. They give it all to this beast and anoint him for 1 hour. They have power 1 hour with this beast. And this woman is a mouthpiece for this beast. Okay? So now, that's your 10 horns right there. And that's these kings, when it says there in Daniel 2:44-45, and in the days of these kings shall the Yahweh of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed or left to other people. Okay? So now it says, so it says for the this church and state union will bring a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, Daniel 12:1. Nevertheless, whosoever will save or protect his life by the sacrificing of the truth shall lose it, says Yahshua, and whosoever will lose or risk his life for my sake by the standing firm for the truth shall find it. Matthew 16:25. And the prophet declares that at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even under that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. But the wise shall understand, Daniel 12:1 and 10. Those in the house of Israel, Seventh-day Adventist Church, and the Davidian, Seventh-day Adventist Church, that were not sanctified and counted among the 144,000 when they come forth, then they are classified as the wicked. In other words, they are represented by the tares and left in the church. 144,000 has come forth out of her bowels. Okay? Now it says, so it shall be that in the days of these kings shall the Elohim of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, but it shall stand forever. Daniel 2:44. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass, till all of these things be fulfilled. Matthew 24:34. We know that right here in this 12th parabolic hour that we're in right now is what this prophecy is talking about. This last generation, right here in this last hour. Incidentally, this is the 24th hour between 12 and 1 here, starting with 1 here, going around the clock 24 hours, completing 1 day. This is the 24th hour right here between 12 and 1. Okay, for the 12 hours a day, this is your 12th hour right here, where the 11 used to be. The 12 is right there. So when you see the shorthand on 12 and the longhand on 1, that's 12 o'clock, folks. But then when the shorthand comes and evens up with this longhand, that's midnight, as we know it today. That's the fulfillment of midnight. That's the end of 6 hours, the first 6 hours for the night. Starting right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 ends right here at 1. This is midnight here at 1. Not at the top of 6, but at the bottom of 6 is your midnight. Okay. So it is within this hour that this kingdom is set up, this everlasting kingdom that shall never be destroyed left to other people. This is when it's set up. Okay? And we're confirming this kingdom more every day right here at the Camp David. We have another name for our headquarters here, and it's called Camp David. Period. Okay? So it says that thus, the more sure word of the prophecy, which never fails to tell the truth, declares that neither England nor Germany, but rather Babylon the Great, the image of the beast. Okay? So Babylon the Great is the image of the beast. And typical Nebuchadnezzar all over again. So when was that image set up? That image was set up from 2001 with the White House and George Bush Jr. as the president to 2009. That's when that image was set up. And then Obama, Mystery Babylon, Revelation 17, then he takes the charge. Okay, we showed it to you a while ago. Now we'll turn back to it so we can have it right in front of us, looking at it. When this Mystery Babylon right here, this woman takes and sends the back of this beast right here, then that's when the 4 winds are let loose. That's when the 144,000 are sealed. So for the time being, this woman right here is on the 7 heads, representing all the church denominations of the United States exclusively. Okay? And also, she being Muslim, all the Muslims that's come into this country by the millions now are represented by one of these heads. And Muslims are nothing but another hybrid Catholic. That's all they are. Their founder, Muhammad, was a monk that came out of the Catholic Church in the 7th century A.D. Okay? No less than 1,300 years ago. Their founder. This is where this woman, she started way back here. All right. But she still represented the same thing with the same people back here as she did right here during the Dark Ages. Okay, let's continue. It says, then it says right here, so it shall be that in the days of these kings shall the Elohim of heaven set up a kingdom. That's this everlasting kingdom right now that he set up in 2002 with Elijah David, speaking to you right now, at the Kermit, Texas, in Gilead Center, which shall never be destroyed, but it shall stand forever, Daniel 2:44. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Matthew 24:34. Then and not until then may the world expect peace. Okay. The world wanting peace. They're trying to find out how to have peace on their own. Nothing done. Thus the more sure word of the prophecy, which that's 2 Peter 1, 19 and 20. You have also a more sure word of the prophecy that you do well to take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place until the day dawn, and the day star, which is Yahshua, arises in your hearts. All right, has Yahshua, the day star, arisen in your heart today? Okay, well then this hasn't happened for you then. So it says, the more sure word of the prophecy, which never fails to tell the truth, declares that neither England nor of Germany, but rather Babylon the Great, the image of the beast, will finally for a short season profit by the war. What war? The war that's going on in the Middle East right now. That's all the Arab nations have got their knife at each other's throats. At the same time, they're surrounding Jerusalem, wanting to take Jerusalem, and meanwhile, the Arab nations are all fighting each other. Yahweh's keeping them busy until the winds of strife are let loose, until Obama gets his decree to set up the mark of the beast in. That's all he's doing with the Middle East right now. Just keeping them busy with each other and distracted from the main issue that they want, and that is to march on Jerusalem as a united front, as a united Arab front with all the Arab nations. But they can't do it because everybody wants to be the front leader of each other, and so they take a knife to each other and put the knife at each other's throat. And that's in Scripture.